If you're the sort of FPL manager who wants an edge in your mini league without doing hours of research, you need to read the Lazy FPL newsletter. It's a free, no-nonsense email sent 24 hours before every deadline. I read it and I love it, you'll love it too. Use the link in the description to subscribe. "74 points in Game Week 6 was just enough to avoid a red arrow, but the rank remains at a lowly 1.7 million. Andre Onana ended a run of 4 games without a clean sheet, as Man United returned to winning ways against Burnley. Ten Hag's side restricted the Clarets to a single big chance. Patience with Ben Chilwell backfired as he was again left out of the starting 11, but Sven Botman came in after a change to the original transfer plans and partially covered that huge 18-point haul from Kieran Trippier. I decided against bringing in Karu Mitoma after Roberto Di Zerbi hinted at rotation from midweek, and the Japanese winger did indeed start on the bench, but frustratingly came off to score a brace. Thankfully, James Maddison, who would have had to make way, softened the blow with 2 assists in the North London derby. It was impossible to resist Julian Alvarez after a midweek brace and an injury to Bernardo, but the Argentine was sacrificed before the hour mark following a red card to Rodri. He took a match-leading 4 shots in a promising first half display. So let's move on to the transfer plans for Game Week 7. There's a growing pressure to hit the wildcard button, but I'm determined to stick with the plan and wait until Game Week 8. One of the motivations behind that is to facilitate a 1-week punt on Carlton Morris. The Hatters talisman has been directly involved in all 3 Luton goals this season, and faces Everton and Burnley in a double game week. He showed promise against Wolves not just in converting the penalty, but he also struck the woodwork from range and had a header saved by Jose Sarr. Opting for Alvarez over Wilson has given me 1.2 million in the bank with which to upgrade Cameron Archer. Alternatively, Sheffield United's form brings both Jarrod Bowen and James Ward-Prowse into my thinking. The Blades have conceded a league-high 14 goals in their last 4 game weeks, and were particularly vulnerable from set pieces in the heavy defeat to Newcastle. I also shouldn't rule out a belated move for Kieran Trippier, who could prove just as devastating at home to Burnley. The Clarets' average of 0.8 goals per game this season is only ahead of Luton with 0.6, and only Forest and Sheffield United fare worse for expected goals per game. So I'm not completely settled on which way to go, but Archer to Morris is what I see as my most likely transfer. Here's how the team is set to line up. Looking to build on the win at Burnley, Andre Onana faces Crystal Palace at home in Game Week 7. The Eagles have scored 1 goal per game on the road this season, with only Man United, Chelsea and Luton faring worse. Gabriel returns alongside Sven Botman in defence as Arsenal travel to Bournemouth. The Cherries have netted just 3 goals in the last 4 game weeks, only Luton have managed fewer. Mikel Arteta's side have kept clean sheets in both previous away matches this season. Pervis Estupiñán would be the one dropping to the bench if I was to bring in Trippier for Chilwell. Brighton are yet to keep a clean sheet this season, but it hasn't stopped him averaging 5.4 points per game, with 4 attacking returns in 5 matches. No defender has created as many big chances as his 4. There are some early doubts over the fitness of Bukayo Saka after he took a knock to the foot against Spurs. We should have more clarity on that situation after Arsenal play Brentford midweek in the Cup. If past fit, he's up against a Bournemouth side that have given up 13 big chances in the last 4 game weeks. Only Wolves, West Ham and Sheffield United have allowed more. James Maddison came off with a knee issue in the North London derby, but the early reports are sounding positive. If he were to miss out, I've got Bryan Mbeumo to come in from the bench. A meeting with Liverpool at home looks much less daunting after Spurs fashioned 4 big chances against Arsenal. After that stunning volley against Burnley, Bruno Fernandes has amassed 3 attacking returns in the last 4 game weeks. Only Maddison has landed more than his 7 shots on target in that time among midfielders. Marcus Rashford has drawn back-to-back blanks, but no midfielder has attempted as many as his 15 shots in home matches this season, and 13 of his 17 goals last season came at Old Trafford. Crystal Palace, however, rank among the top 5 teams for expected goals conceded this season. With 4 assists and a goal in the last 4 game weeks, Julian Alvarez has averaged 6.5 points per game. Only Haaland has taken more shots among forwards in that time, while his 8 attempted assists is a leading tally. In the same period, Wolves have conceded 14 big chances, with only West Ham and Sheffield United allowing more. There is a genuine debate for captaincy this game week, with a double game week boosting the appeal of Carlton Morris. Luton's first match comes against Everton, who have lost all 3 home matches this season by 1-0. They then host Burnley, who have shipped 10 goals in the last 4 game weeks, with only Sheffield United faring worse. But crucially, the Hatters have only scored once in open play this season, while Erling Haaland should arguably have done even better with the service he's been receiving. He's missed 8 big chances in the last 4 game weeks, in addition to the 6 goals he's scored. So I'm likely to side with the Norwegian.